Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a chit chat story time type of situation going on here. I'm trying a new foundation, so if it doesn't look right, bear with me. I'm trying to learn on my own and not always have to go to Sephora to get matched, because sometimes I just want to learn this on my own. So again, don't be in the comments coming for my neck if this does not match me, because I'm trying to learn on my own. But I wanted to do a video and just do a story time. This story time is about how like me and my husband got together and the situations leading up to how it happened. Like sometimes I think it's just like a dream come true, and every time I tell people this story, they're like, what, that happened to you? And disclaimer, if you're watching this video, if you're my ex, do apologize, but you know this shit went down. So I was finishing up on my brows and I was like, you know what, let's just do a video. Kids are content doing their thing, hubby's out, so we're gonna do this video. So like, I was in a toxic relationship, and that's just what it was. I was in a relationship where it was a lot of cheating, a lot of, you know how it is, you're young. And at this time, like my ex, we weren't, he was like, I was dating like a person that was out at college. Yeah, so as I was saying, like in a relationship where I was dating someone who was away at college. And if you guys remember the story time where I was talking about dating a girl in that situation, perfect. I tell people this all the time. Your girl is not perfect, and that's exactly why I think my life blossoms, because I live in my truth. So yeah, dating someone on and off type thing. And at this time, like, we weren't, the story begins, okay, we weren't together. I had broken up with him because I was just tired of going through, hold on. I was tired of going through situations where, you know, I was like really depressed. I was going through a time of, we weren't together. And I remember it, like, I just remember it so vividly that we weren't together. And damn, I should have like did this before the shit decided to not work. So I'm just gonna bring that down. And again, this might not even be the color because I had to change the foundation. So yeah, that's a whole nother ball game, right? So yeah, the story begins like, okay, we weren't dating, and like I just remember going through a period of where I was just mentally drained, mentally tired of the situations that were going on. Again, I was not perfect. I did some messed up things to him. He did messed up things to me. It was that type of situation, and that's just how that went. And I just remember vividly how we were still in communication, but we weren't dating. You know, I had broken off with him for like the 15th utmost time. The 15th utmost time, and that's just what that was. And I remember my friend, I had moved into my apartment. I moved out early. And I remember my friend just, hold on guys. I remember my friend coming over because she wanted to see my place. And she was over my house. And this was the time, like one of my old high school friends, she had recently, you know, I gotta set this shit up better. She had recently gotten killed, and I wasn't driving at the time, and neither was my friend. She wasn't driving either, and we were so petrified because the girl, our friend Kiana, who had gotten killed, she had gotten killed like not really far from my house. And I was like, I don't want you walking home. I don't want you catching the bus. Like, it was that type of situation where the whole town just more so in fear of our lives, in fear of like the town, you know, our friends, you know, you wanted to keep a closer look on them. Like, hey, I remember it was like, well, I'm gonna ask him because, I mean, we are cordial, we aren't together. He lives around the corner from me. His mom lives around the corner from me. We can, like, I can ask him if he can, like, take you home. I can give him gas money. Okay, cool. Not cool. Not cool. So I just remember, like, the whole ride was just fucking awkward as shit because we weren't really together, a thing. And I just remember, like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this ride. Like, that's just what I kept remembering. And I just remember, like, oh Lord, this is just like really awkward. Shouldn't even have asked him to do this because I don't want him thinking it's something more than what it is. Because, like, I think a week or two before that incident, I had went to Six Flags and I didn't invite him. And normally we do things together, but we weren't together. Like, I was trying to find my path. My path without that person that I was always with. So that was a whole nother situation. So then, you know, we dropped her off. On the way home, I was like, oh Lord, this is gonna be awkward. But you know what's so crazy? Before I left my apartment, I remember so vividly. See, this shit. See, this is what happens when you try new shit and you don't like it. But I guess we're gonna keep rocking on, because I'm gonna do the story time. But yeah, so I remember so vividly at first I wasn't gonna take like my phone or my key, not my keys, like my phone, because I was like, okay, it's not too far. We ain't gonna be that far away. You know, let's just hurry up, do that, blah, blah, blah. I just remember so vividly, my spirit kept saying, like, you know, no, take it. Take what you got, you know, just take it. Like, that's what my spirit was telling me. Cool, cool beans, right? So then, you know, I just remember we got to like a point, like I was probably about a block from my house. And I remember him on the way, he was just talking about like going to the clubs and these females that he was so-called talking to, blah, blah, blah. You know, I just was not interested in it. I was just like, okay, why are you telling me this? Like, we're not together. What's the purpose of you telling me this? That was my thing. Like, why are you telling me this? And I guess he didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that I was uninterested. Because at this point, I was just mentally drained. You know, when you're dating someone and you're going through a series of events, meaning you cheating, he cheating on you, there is no trust in the relationship. And, you know, it's to the point now where, you know, both families are tired of you both. Tired of y'all, period. And I just remember I kept saying to myself, what the fuck? At that point, you know, so where was I at? Yeah, so like our families were both tired of us. Like my grandmother was, I'm pretty sure his mom was, his sister, all of them. And I just remember like saying to myself, like, I can't do this no more. Like, I just can't do this no more. This is just ridiculous. So as we're driving, he had turned, I was listening to the music, where I was like, you know, I really don't care about, you know, what you're doing. We're not together anymore. And then I remember just like turning the volume up on the thing. He was like, don't touch my music in my car. So I said, okay, cool. I left it at that. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm not far from my house. I can get home. If I gotta walk, I can get home. So me not even thinking, mind you, oh, I didn't even I forgot to tell you guys. I was in my boxing shorts with a beater on because it was summertime when this happened. And yeah, so he cuts through this little street Mind you, that's not my house. So he's driving. I'm like, where the fuck is he going? Next thing you know, he stops, leans across from me, was like, get out my car. So at first I was like, I'm not getting out your fucking car. Have you lost your damn mind? So he was like, get out my car. So I looked down at myself and I said, Steph, you got your phone, you got your keys, your best friend lives literally the next apartment building over. We're gonna call Kersha to fucking meet you. And what do? So I'm walking down the block. And this guy, it was like midnight at this point. And this guy, I guess he was like fixing his stuff. I don't know what he was doing, but it was like my little guardian angel. And just to protect me from being outside late. And I remember him saying like, you know, hey sweetie, he was like, hey sweetheart, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I live up this way. You know, I called my best friend, she's gonna come meet me. And then I guess that's when he must have turned around and he seen me talking to the dude and he was like, get back in the car. I was like, I'm not getting back in no damn car with you. You just put me out the fucking car. Why would I want to get back in the car with you? You might try to kill me. Shit, that's where my logic was. And so I walked, and mind you, I wasn't far from my house at all. Like, here go the car where I was, and here goes like my building. So I just had to like travel up a trail. And then I just remember, sorry y'all. I just remember feeling like, this is it. Like, I can't do this. Trying to find my concealer brush. I was like, this is it. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot allow myself, sorry y'all, hold on. I cannot do no cut crease and look at the same time. You know, I just kept saying like, this is it. Like this, you know how God gives you signs, you don't listen because you think you fucking grown. And he gives you signs after signs for both of us. He gave us signs after signs for both of us. And it was so ironic that after the breakup, like after me breaking up with him, I had got in contact with like an old school friend. And this was someone who we never dated, never talked. We were always good friends. And we started being good friends because our birthdays, me, him, and another one of my friends, our birthdays are literally like stacked from each other. Like my friend Brittany, her birthday is the day after mine. I'm November 23rd. My friend Brittany is the 24th. And then Sid's was the 26th. So that's how we all like correlated with one another, like how we developed a friendship. And this was like MySpace days, like y'all, MySpace days, high school, like the beginning of freaking high school. And that's how we always were friends. Like we always check up on each other. We call each other twins. It was never any like, I'm trying to be with you type situation, because he had a girlfriend and I had a boyfriend. Maybe I should cheat with it, you know? But no, everything happens for a sole purpose, and you don't realize it. Like, I remember when he had asked me if I had a boyfriend or something, I was like, yes, I do. And that just goes to show you, like, sometimes your timing isn't meant for that person. Sometimes there's a reason why you don't date someone, or it's a reason why you aren't with that person at that particular time, because you'll go through your lesson before before God feels like he's ready for you to be with that person. So that happened. We end up like, that's where the whole Six Flags situation came about. Like, we basically, I'm gonna try a different color. We basically had all went to Six Flags. It wasn't like just me and him. It was me, him, a couple of my friends, a couple of his friends. It was no relationship type thing, anything, whatever you wanna call it. It was just being friends, getting me out of the house. And it was ironic, him and his girlfriend had broke up like probably a week or two before me. So that was like crazy. And we were just talking about it, and and then so we had went to the little Six Flags, boom, still stayed in contact with each other. Nothing happened because I was just fresh out of getting out of a relationship, and I think he was talking to someone anyway. And so when I got back to my house, me and my best friend got back to my house, I had called him, because at first I had called him first, like, hey, can you come meet me? You know, hey, I just got put out of a car, you know, by my ex. And he was like, dang, you know, you should have called me. I would have took her home for you. I was like, see, I didn't want to put any stipulations on you, because at the end of the day, we're friends. But like, I don't want you thinking like, just because I broke up with someone, I want to get with you type thing. So that's how that went. And I just remember like just so annoyed with the whole situation. So I remember calling, and then like after that, we never spoke to each other again after that situation. Are we friends on social media? Yeah, we're friends on social media. Do I have any harsh feelings against him? No. Why? Because at the end of the day, everything happens for a sole reason. I wouldn't have the man that I'm with now, and I wouldn't have my 2 children. You know, I wanted things out of my relationship even at a young age. I knew I always wanted to be a mother. I knew I always wanted to be someone's wife. I knew I wanted things out of life, and that's just how it goes sometimes. After that situation, it was just what it was. We left each other alone. Like I said, we left each other alone. It was for the best, honestly, because sometimes 2 people just aren't meant. Sometimes 2 people just bring out the worst in each other, and if you don't follow the signs, you don't take heed of what's happening, you'll be the one sadly mistaken, honestly. So, ooh, I think I done fucked up this look. Oh shit, fuck. Oh well, we can blend it out. But yeah, so that's how that went. And then after everything happened, you know, I really had to learn to love me. I really had to learn, like, you just gotta be better. And that's when we end up just taking things slow. Taking things slow and realizing all along we were meant to be for each other. We were meant to have this relationship with one another. Sometimes we don't really know that we're supposed to be with someone, and then it happens, and God just shows you like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. And sometimes you just gotta listen to those signs. Like, you know, every person you date won't be the person that you'll end up with. And I think that's something that I had to realize on my journey of dating. You know, when you're dating someone and you see the signs, and it's not even necessarily always on them, it's just, does that person bring out the best in you? Does that person make you happy? Those things are what matters. So it was like, it took a bad situation to happen in order for me to realize much more of my worth. And that's just how that happened. Like, sometimes it just happens that way, and it's just no explaining it. And the situation could have probably went way worse if I would have fed into it all. But I was just tired. I was mentally tired of being in a relationship with someone and we were bringing out the worst in each other. But there's no love lost. There's no hurt feelings about the situation, because at the end of the day, it brought me my Sydney, and I got 2 beautiful children by this man who adores me and gives me the whole entire world if I ask for it. He doesn't make me have to do more. He's a man's man type of thing. So, and I've been with him for almost 9 years in August 30th, and it'll make 4 years married this year. And that's why I really want to do this story time, because I want to let you guys know, like, just because sometimes you got to let go of that one in order for God to bless you with someone you're supposed to be meeting. And sometimes we hold ourselves back from the love. Like, I wish everybody happiness. Like, I'm sure my husband wishes his ex happiness. Everyone deserves to be happy. And I think that's something that we don't really, you know, focus on. But that's pretty much this video. I just wanted to do a quick story time, help you guys along the way. Maybe this video, the story time, can actually help you in your life right now, in what you're currently going through. Y'all, I don't know about this look, but what's done is done, right? So I'll see you guys in the next one.